Now we are going to discussing about phosphorus 31 phosphorus NMR spectroscopy, and which is also similar to just like NMR spectroscopy and F19 NMR spectroscopy. And the phosphorus 31 has a nuclear spin I equals to half, which is similar to F19 and proton NMR. And the natural abundance of 31 phosphorus is 100%. It is a 31 phosphorus naturally 100% occurring, and in the similarly the 85 percentage of H3PO4 is used as standard reference compound, and its delta chemical shift value is delta ppm is 0. Similarly, in H1 NMR spectroscopy we are using TMS, whereas in F19 where H1 NMR spectroscopy we are using TMS, and F19 we are using CFCl3. Similarly, in phosphorus 31 NMR spectroscopy we are using 85% of H3PO4 as a standard reference compound, and its chemical shift value will be 0. And the chemical shift range is minus 400 to plus 400 ppm. It is a very large chemical shift range, that is minus 400 to plus 400 ppm. So the due to this large chemical shift range, the phosphorus 31 NMR spectroscopy is easily interpreted. Due to this large chemical shift range, it will be very easy to understand, and resolution of phosphorus 31 NMR spectroscopy is much better than H1 NMR spectroscopy because of this wide range. Because of this wide range, phosphorus NMR spectroscopy can be easily interpreted. And when we are observing the proton NMR spectroscopy, we need to zoom the spectra in order to see a doublet, whether the signal is doublet or triplet. But whereas in the phosphorus 31 NMR spectroscopy, it by just looking at the spectra we can easily interpret it whether this signal is doublet or triplet or quadret. So that's why because of this wide range only, we can easily interpret it phosphorus 31 NMR spectra. And the coupling constants are generally in H1 NMR spectroscopy, it will be 5 to 20 hertz will be there, whereas in phosphorus 31 NMR spectroscopy the coupling constant is very wide range, that is 0 to 4000 hertz. Okay, you have to remember the chemical shift range from for phosphorus 31 NMR spectroscopy is minus 400 to plus 400 ppm is there, and some chemical shift value will be there, and coupling constants also there in the same way germinal and visual that also takes place in phosphorus NMR spectroscopy. So you have to remember some values there. I will give in the notes. Okay, example, the phosphorus 31 NMR spectrum of ATP molecule, that is adenosine triphosphate, adenosine triphosphate, and the structure will be like this. Structure will be here, adenine ring will be there, adenine, this is the adenine, this is the adenine ring, this is the nucleotide base, and it is attached to the ribose sugar. This is ribose sugar, this is ribose sugar, and it will be attached to phosphorus. Means how many tri means three phosphorus atoms. It will be attached to phosphate group. It will be attached to, this is the phosphate group, Okay, this is the adenine ring, adenine base. This is a nucleotide base, and this is the ribose sugar, and it will attach to the phosphate group. So this is known as adenosine triphosphate, and it will have three types of phosphorus are there, because we are determining the phosphorus. NMR spectroscopy is used to determine the spectra of phosphorus containing atoms only. Okay, it is how many types of phosphorus are there. This is alpha. Let's take three types are there. I am giving the naming like just like alpha, beta, gamma. Okay, these are three types of phosphorus are there. So let's first see. This phosphorus atom will coupled with this beta phosphorus. See first here the alpha phosphorus, the thing P31 of P alpha is coupled with this beta phosphorus. So how how many it will be coupled? It will be gives as a doublet. That means P alpha is coupled with P beta. Okay, due to is only one there, based on 2Na plus 1 rule, it will give us a doublet. Similarly, for P31 phosphorus of beta, it will give triplet. It will give triplet because these adjacent, these two, sorry, if the coupling constants of these two phosphorus will be same, then only it will give as a triplet. But due to there is a small difference in coupling constant of alpha and gamma, alpha beta and beta gamma, that's why it will be gives as a, see here how it will be. The coupling constants of p beta and coupling constants of this gamma will be 19.6 hertz, and again this this will be again coupled with this alpha phosphorus, so it will gives rise to again doublet, right? This p beta will be coupled with p alpha, so it will gives us a doublet of doublet, because of there is a small difference in coupling constant. If the coupling constants of these two phosphorus will be same, then it will be gives as a triplet only. Due to the small difference of coupling constant between the p beta phosphorus and gamma phosphorus, coupling constant is 19.6, whereas the coupling constant of beta phosphorus and alpha phosphorus is 19.3. Due to the small difference, there will be there will be a small split in the central peak. Okay, again now we are discussing where this phosphorus, that is 31 phosphorus of gamma. Okay, and it will due to the coupling with this one, so it will give us a doublet. This phosphorus gamma is coupled with phosphorus beta, so it will give us a doublet, because these all are spin value will be off. See once again, in ATP molecule there are three types of phosphorus are there. That's why it will give us three signal in the P31 NMR spectrum. And further the alpha and gamma will be split into doublet due to the coupling with of this phosphorus, and whereas in the beta phosphorus will split into a triplet by coupling with this adjacent this phosphorus and this phosphorus. It will be converted as triplet. How? But a small split in the central peak, that is, if will be like this, the spectra will draw like this. These are the doublet for this one, and this will be triplet. Here small peak will be there. Okay, due to due to a small difference in chemical, this is due to a small difference in coupling constant of between beta gamma and beta and alpha. That's why there is a small split in the central peak will be existed as a triplet. Okay, this is the P13 NMR of ATP molecule. Okay, this is the adenine and this is the ribose sugar, and which is attached to phosphate group, and it will have three types of phosphorus. That's why it will be give a three signals, and due to this coupling it will be gives the doublet, triplet and doublet. Okay, this for alpha, this for beta, and this for gamma signals, right? Oh sorry, this is the due to the now we are for coupling based on chemical shift value will be, it will be like this. Okay, the spectrum, the overall spectrum will be like this. Here see, this is doublet, and here also doublet, and here triplet will be there like this. Due to a small change, but it will look like as a triplet only. It chemical shift value will be minus 5.6. This for gamma, this for alpha, this for beta. Okay, beta will be split into triplet. Okay, and alpha can be split into doublet, and its chemical shift value will be minus 10.9, and its chemical shift value will be minus 12.4. Okay, here reference compound is there, that is 85% of H3PO4 compound, right? That is the reference compound, that is standard reference compound. Okay, this is the P13 NMR spectrum of ATP molecule. And the next example is P4S3 molecule, and the structure will be like this. Here phosphorus, and it will be attached to sulfur, and it will be attached to sulfur and sulfur, and these are attached to phosphorus. This is the structure of P4S3 molecule, and this these phosphorus will have phosphorus bonds, whereas here phosphorus and sulfur bond is there. So there are two types of phosphorus are there, that is these three are will be same environment, that will be taken as the PB, and I mean labeling like this. Pa is one type of phosphorus, and PB are these three are will be same environment, that's why it will be one type of signal. So it will be give one type of signal, and it will be give one type of signal. So here we'll get a two signals, that is in 1:3 ratio. It will be like this. First they will get a two signals. Okay, this is for Pa, this is for Pb molecules, Pb phosphorus, and now the Pa phosphorus will be split into or coupling with these three Pb atoms, means the Pa will be coupled with how many number of phosphorus are there, Pb types 3. So based on 2Na plus rule, it will be gives as the 4 lines, right? 2Na plus 1 number of here 3 of will be 4, so it will be 4 lines. Now we are taking Pb, and how many of Pa type are there, only one, so it will gives as a doublet. So the overall spectra is Pa will be split into quadrate, 4 lines, that is quadrate, and the Pb will be split into doublet. Okay, with some more high intensity, because there are three Pb there. Okay, and next example for this molecule, example for next example is here H3PO4. I will write here like this, H3PO3, and this is H3PO2 molecules. Okay, these are the three compounds, and the structure of H3PO4 is will be like this. Here OH and OH, it will be like this structure. Okay, here this structure will be like this. Here the structures will be like this. Okay, here there is no protons directly attached to the phosphorus, that's why there is no splitting with, there is no coupling with phosphorus and hydrogen, that's why it will be give only one singlet. Okay, it will give only one singlet, whereas for this H3PO3 it will be coupled with this hydrogen, so that's why it will give as doublet. Okay, and whereas this structure, the phosphorus is directly attached to two protons. That's why it will be coupling will be takes place of these two protons. So 2Ni plus 1, 2 into number of hydrogens will be 2 of plus 1 because 3, so it will be split as a triplet. Okay, so here the OH protons undergo exchange with solvent. That's why there will be only one signal for this phosphorus, means this phosphorus will give only one signal, whereas these are coupled with this hydrogen. That's why it will be give a doublet, and this phosphorus will be coupled with these two hydrogens. That's why it will be give a triplet in the structure. We can easily distinguish between these molecules by P13 NMR spectroscopy, because this molecule will give singlet, whereas this will be doublet, and this will give triplet. So we can easily differentiate these molecules by the P13 NMR spectroscopy. Now we are taking another example, that is HPF2 molecule. HPF2 molecule, and the structure will be like this: P, F, here H and F. Okay, and in this molecule, now we are record the P13 NMR spectroscopy. Just remember one thing here, that is coupling order. The coupling order is 31 phosphorus greater than 19 phosphorus will be greater than, the coupling will be phosphorus and fluorine will be greater than phosphorus and hydrogen. 31, right? It 131 and the hydrogen, and greater than H19. You have to remember the coupling order is phosphorus fluorine will be greater than, phosphorus hydrogen greater than, and hydrogen fluorine. Okay, you have to remember this one, then it can easily interpreted. Now we are recording P31 NMR, that is phosphorus. First is phosphorus will be coupled with fluorine. So here phosphorus is first coupled with this fluorine. That's why it will be split into triplet, right? There are two fluorines are there. That's why first it will be splitting with this one. So it will be three fluorines. So two fluorines. So it will be split into triplet, and again this phosphorus can be split in coupled with this proton. So the each line can be further can split into doublet. Okay, so therefore we get three doublets, right? So for phosphorus 31 NMR we get three doublets. Now we are recording F19 NMR. F19 NMR spectrum for this molecule. Here first this see here, first fluorine will be coupled with this phosphorus. That's why it will give doublet, right? Here only one phosphorus will be there. You have to follow this order. You have to follow this order only. Okay, first fluorine will be coupled with this phosphorus. So how many number of phosphorus are there? Only one. So it will be split into doublet. So this fluorine will be split into doublet, and again this fluorine will be coupled with this hydrogen. So the each line will be further split into doublet, right? So here we get two doublets. Yes, so we get two doublet for F19 NMR spectroscopy, whereas for H1 NMR spectrum for this molecule, first you have to follow this order. So first the hydrogen will couple with this phosphorus. So here order. So it will be only one is there. So it will be split into doublet, right? And it will be split into doublet. Again this hydrogen will coupled with these two fluorines. So each line can be further split into triplet because there are two fluorines are there. 2Na plus 1 rule. Based on 2Na plus 1 rule, it will be split as a triplet. Okay, each line will be split as triplet. So here we get for H1 NMR spectroscopy we get two triplets, right? Here two triplets. Just I will write here. This is the splitting pattern of P and fluorine. Here this splitting pattern of fluorine and hydrogen, so phosphorus and hydrogen, where this is phosphorus, fluorine, and you have to write from phosphorus P or F or F or P. Anyone is will be right. Okay, so we are doing 19 by 19 F NMR, so you have to follow this one. F coupled with phosphorus and fluorine will be coupled with hydrogen. Here this first one, hydrogen will be coupled with phosphorus and hydrogen will be coupled with fluorine. So if you are remembering this order, it will be very easy to interpret it. For phosphorus 31 and F19 and H1 NMR, we can easily give the spectra if you are remembering only this one. You have to remember, you have to order what is phosphorus and fluorine will be highest atomic number. That's why it will be a first greater coupling. So then phosphorus and hydrogen, then fluorine and hydrogen. So easily remember this one. And next example is PF6 molecule, and the structure will be like this. Fluorine, and fluorine will be there. Now we are recording the 31 phosphorus NMR spectroscopy. So here the phosphorus will coupled with these 6 fluorines. That's why we get 2Na plus 1. 6 plus 1 means 7. So this phosphorus will give split into 7 lines. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are 7 lines. 31 phosphorus can be, if we are recording the 31 phosphorus, then it can be split is the 7 lines. If we are recording F19 NMR spectrum, so the 6 equivalent line, the 6 equivalent protons will give one signal, and these fluorines will coupled with this phosphorus. So it will be, how many number of phosphorus are there? Only one. So it will be gives as a doublet. So it will be a doublet. Okay, it will be structure the spectra for phosphorus and phosphorus. 31 phosphorus will be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 7 lines where this will be a doublet. F19 NMR spectrum. This for phosphorus 31. Similarly, the next example is PH3 molecule. The structure will be like this: here H, and here H. And now we are recording the phosphorus 31 NMR spectrum. Then the phosphorus will be coupled with these 3 protons, so it will be gives as a quadrat. Okay, the phosphorus will be split as a quadrat based on 2Na plus 1 rule. And now we are recording the H1 NMR spectrum. H1 NMR, then the hydrogen can be coupled with this phosphorus, so it will give as a doublet only. Okay, only one phosphorus is there, that's why it will give doublet, whereas here 3 hydrogens will be there, that's why it will be a quadrat. So the spectrum will be like this. This will be a quadrat and this will be a doublet. Okay, and the next example is rhodium containing complex. That is, for rhodium, the nuclear spin of rhodium will be I equals to half, and this complex will have two types of structures are possible, that are facial and meridional. I will draw like these structures. Here rhodium, chlorine, here chlorine, it will be chlorine, then PPH3, here PPH3, here PPH3. Next here rhodium, here rhodium, this is PPH3 and it will be Cl. Okay, it will be PPH3 and here PPH3 Cl and Cl. Okay, this is the facial. This is the facial structure. This is the meridional. For this complex, there are two structures are possible. That is, first one is facial structure and this one is meridional structure. For facial structure, the all phosphorus will be in same environment. That's why it will give only one signal. Whereas in meridional structure, there are two types of phosphorus will be there. Here, this is the A type phosphorus, and these two will be in same, and it will be a B type of phosphorus. And now we are seeing how many signals will be given this for this one. For this facial structure, this all phosphorus will be same, so it will gives one signal, and the phosphorus will be further coupled with this rhodium complex, means the spin of rhodium will be equals to off. That's why it can be further coupled, and further this phosphorus will be coupled with this rhodium atom, and it will be gives as a doublet. First it will be gives as a singlet, and coupled this phosphorus will be coupled with this rhodium atom. That's why it will be gives as doublet, right? Here I will write phosphorus is coupled with rhodium. Based on Cohen-Epstein rule, it will give a doublet. In the same way, the meridional, there are two types of phosphorus will be there. That will be for A type and similarly for B type. So it will give us the two signals, right? First one will be here. I will draw like this. This for A type and this for B type. This is PA and PB. And it will be existing to 1:2 ratio. These signals will be in 1:2 ratio. Now we are splitting pattern for this PA type, and this PA first split with coupled means coupled with this PA will be coupled with rhodium. This rhodium phosphorus is coupled with rhodium, so it will give us a doublet. And this again, this phosphorus will be coupled with these two phosphorus, PB phosphorus, right? PB type of phosphorus, and these two signals will be split into triplet because of the PA coupled with PB, right? So the PA will be gives as the two triplets, right? Two triplets. You have to remember, first the PA will be coupled with this rhodium atom. Again, this PA will be coupled with the PB type of phosphorus. That's why it will give as the two triplets. The same way for PB. First it will be coupled with this rhodium. So P phosphorus will be coupled with rhodium. So it will give as a doublet. In the same way, the PB type of phosphorus will be coupled with PA phosphorus. So it will again split into as a doublet, right? The PB coupled with PA. So it will give us as a two doublet. Okay. Just I will draw like this here structure. This means here two triplets and two doublets. This is the P31 NMR spectrum of this complex. Here the rhodium will give two the spatial isomer will give only doublet, whereas the meridional will give two types of signal. That PA type will be give two triplets, and the PB type will give two doublets. This is the complex of rhodium. This is the P31 NMR of this rhodium complex. And the next example is triphenyl phosphine selenide complex. Is not a complex. This is a compound, triphenyl phosphine selenide compound. And in the absence of coupling, that means In the absence of the C13 and selenide, in the absence of these couplings, and this complex will give only one signal with high intensity. Okay, in the absence of this selenide coupling between the phosphorus and selenide, and coupling between the phosphorus and carbon, in the absence of these couplings, it will give only one signal with high intensity. And this molecule is an example for P13 and P13 NMR and C13 carbon 13. This is an example for coupling between phosphorus P13 phosphorus and carbon 13 NMR. If we are considering the coupling between phosphorus and C31, sorry, that carbon 13 NMR, then we get a spectrum will be like this, and the central peak will be high intensities, and these peaks are known as satellitic pairs, and with equal intensity and equal distribution will be takes place between in central peak. Okay, about the central peak, equal distribution will be takes place, and these pairs are known as satellitic pairs. This is due to weak coupling between this phosphorus and C13 NMR, and the coupling will be like this. See here, first this phosphorus will give only one signal in absence of coupling, but it will be gives a satellitic pairs because in the presence of coupling, that is in the presence of the phosphorus 31 and C13 will be there, it will be spectrum will be like this. See how the coupling will be takes place, and this, since this is the carbon 31, the nuclear spin will be I equals to half, that's why it will be coupled with this phosphorus atom, and it will be gives as a doublet like this. Okay, this is the based on the coupling constant values, and the coupling will be takes place like this. Here 31, this will be 31 phosphorus and coupled with carbon 13. See here, this is the first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon, sixth carbon. Okay, now we are considering the coupling between phosphorus and carbon. So it will be like this. Here phosphorus coupled with C1 carbon, that will be 77 hedges, and the phosphorus coupled with C3 C5, it will be next. Based on the coupling constant values, the coupling will be takes place. For higher one, it will be coupled with first, lower will be at last. This is the last coupling. Here see, this will be gives as a doublet. This will be gives as a doublet because of the phosphorus will be coupled with these two same type of carbons are there now. 3 and 5 will be same type of carbons, and it will be coupled with this phosphorus, and it will gives like this. Okay, similarly it will be coupled with the phosphorus atom will be coupled with C2 C6. Here coupling constant value will be 10.6, and it will be gives like signal. Okay, here, and finally the phosphorus will be coupled with this carbon atom, and it will be gives like this. Okay, see I will writing here. First this is the coupling with this one, and this one is coupled with phosphorus is coupled with C3 C5, right, and this one is phosphorus is coupled with C2 C6, and finally this one phosphorus is coupled with C4. Okay, see this is the C4 31 phosphorus 31 phosphorus C4, and this one is C3 C5, and this one is C2 comma C6, this one is C1, I think, right, C1. This is for coupling with the, and the phosphorus will be coupled with this selenium, and it will be get the spectrum will be like this. And once again see the splitting between the phosphorus phosphorus 31 and carbon 13 and phosphorus 31 and selenium will be gives a signal will be like this, spectrum will be like this, and it will get a central will be high intensity peak, and these are the satellitic pairs with symmetrical distribution about this central peak. Due to why these satellite peaks will be existed, because of only the coupling will be phosphorus and this carbon will be very weak. That's why we get a this type of satellitic pairs in the spectrum. This is the P31 NMR spectrum for this molecule. Thank you.